This is a super quick video showing you how to create a cage in a shrunk version of your model that you might have seen in one of the other stylized texturing tutorials, but without using the inflate deformation in ZBrush, and instead just using a simple tool in Maya. So let's say that this is just a very example model that I just happen to have, but let's say that we have only this bottom section, and this is the low poly version, and the high poly version has a lot of details in here, and we want to create a shrunk version of this model and a cage version of this model to use in xNormals. And this is specifically for those students that don't have a graphics card and don't have access to our studio, and therefore will have to do their texturing a different way. So this is for you guys, specifically for, it can be used for stylized and for realistic, but the main idea is for baking. So it's very simple. To make a shrunk version of the model, let's just take it out and duplicate it twice, and this is going to be our low. The one below is going to be our shrunk, and the one below that is going to be our cage. So our low we can hide, and our shrunk we can hide. Let's grab our cage, go to vertex, grab all the vertices, modify, transform tools, move normal tool. It's going to come up with this little axis. You want to move the N inwards. Now you notice you're going to get a few issues in some places, and those ones you have to come in and manually fix. Alright, so now we've shrunk this model down until it's inside the one we had before. And we need to make sure that it is actually inside it. So right now you can see actually these bits are not going where we need them. We need this to be outside that area. And let's hide our low and see what's going on here. So maybe these are just a bit too far. So let's pull them in a bit and let's see what happened there. A little better, but it's not a big issue because the shrunk version is going to be moving outwards regardless. So let's bring back our low. Just to see, okay, so that covers it pretty much entirely. It does cover it entirely. Now we can hide both of these, and we can grab our cage. And actually, let's make the low visible. Let's grab our cage, go to vertex, all the vertices for cage, and do the same method. Modify, transform tools, move normal tool, and expand it. So usually you would be looking at your high poly and making sure that you expand beyond the high poly. And the reason you can do this for baking in xNormals if you have very detailed objects is essentially your low poly is the one you're going to be putting into Unity or Sketchfab or wherever you're working. Your shrunk is the one you're going to use as a quote-unquote low poly inside xNormals, and this cage is what you're gonna give to that quote-unquote low poly as a cage. And that means that this thing, this shrunk model, when it's being baked in xNormals, is essentially going to simulate this process. It's going to essentially xNormals is going to expand this shrunk from this distance to this distance and then stop. It's not going to go any further or any further back, but you can control this by creating a shrunk in a cage to tell it how far you want it to go and make sure that your bake takes all the details that you've sculpted. That's pretty much it. Hope that helps. Bye bye.